Doing something a little different for this installment. I am doing this on my phone as part of a review for a separate production. So I'm kind of a 2-for-1 video. So what this is, I'm actually recording this on my phone because I'm going to do a review of it. And and so the review is going to be for a website that I do called the Clutter Reports. This is where I take and review the various clutter that I have, saying what to get rid of, what to keep, articles about organizing the clutter, and various other things. And because one thing is, let me see if I can. I don't know if I can turn this camera around in this mode. So let me just keep using the selfie cam on this. I don't know if you can see. The room's a bit of a mess. It's been a mess for a long time, and this year has not helped any. So I'm trying to clear out the clutter. And I also remember Becca Hilburn, not in her Soundoff, but in one of her other vlogs, was talking about how she thought her workspace was cluttered. And that kind of brings a question that serves well for my other website, where this will be part of a demonstration, as well as the monitor was bouncing on my glasses. Anyway, it'll serve kind of, it's a not sure enough that it'll work with it for that site as well as for Art Soundoff and BW, which is the question of I'm trying to figure out how to word this. This wasn't what I was going to do, but someone just said, "Hey, this is a good idea considering what you're doing." How cluttered is your workspace, and is it good clutter or bad clutter? Let's see if I can explain this. Can you find everything? Do you know where all of your pens are, where all of your paints are, your coloring pencils, which is what I use, or your markers, or everything is? Do you know where to find your paper? Do you know where to find your instruction booklets or muses or anything? Can you find your stuff? Does it still kind of look like a mess? You know, there's kind of an old guy who's like, "But it was a mess." Yeah, it was my mess. Now I can't find anything. That kind of thing. Is that something that you would say? Like, if the clutter in your studio is such a mess that you can't find anything, then you need to do something about that. And I've got a website for you to check out, clutterreports.wordpress.com. Promotion aside. But if you can't find everything, if you can find everything, then the only clutter you're worried about is, which I think is what Becca was saying, is like not being comfortable showing it to people because she thought it was a mess. But if it's a mess, you know, and I guess kind of what I've been doing, I've been trying to clean up in here. But at the same time, if it's a mess that works, then it's not really a problem. So I'm going to say, you know, some people think that a messy workspace is a sign of a genius because you're too busy creating and doing amazing things to worry about little things like cleaning. And I think that's kind of a thing that what I'm thinking about was with the clutter and organizing nice displays and everything. Like, this is one I set up recently. My little thingies there. And it's kind of a question: is the clutter in your way? Is the clutter at all interfering with your maintenance? Is it interfering with your ability to work? Then it's probably not a huge priority, but I mean, if you want somebody else to be able to find something for them, can you explain how to find it? And that's kind of the thing is, I'm not going to become a neat freak by the end of this clutter project. Believe me, I've been doing this working on cleaning up this mess enough years to know that I'll never be completely clean, and I'm resolved to that. But at the same time, sinuses again. At the same time, I do kind of want a thing where it looks fairly decent, where I can find all this stuff, and that's kind of a project I was doing recently. I'm all in shadow now. I really am a shadow wing. I originally did a project where I clean out the underside of my desk area here. One thing, I'm hoping you can hear me all the time I'm doing this. But cleaning the underside area here, I still got to do that there, so I can find papers, find things, we can organize, be able to find stuff. But if you look at it, it's still this big stack of old artwork. But now I can find what I'm looking for. If I want to look up a character that maybe I had only planned to use once, and a place that we want to use again, and I didn't remember how I drew it the last time, I can go through the pile and find it, and then draw it. Draw it like I did before, because I'll have this old. Because I never drew a set for it, because I only planned to use it once. So now I have the thing, and I've got got a nice little art caddy over there where I can find all my pencils and pen. And I've been organizing, reorganizing. I've organized that 2 or 3 times since I started this whole project, in order to just make sure that I can find everything and it's nice and in reach. So I mean, one thing I want to try this project is I don't want to obsess over clutter, because then I'm going to spend more time doing clutter cleaning than I am drawing or writing or anything else. But at the same time, I do kind of want to make this look a little more presentable, a little easier to work in. You know, it's still tripping over stuff and papers in my way and everything else. So that's kind of been part of our project, is getting my workspace in order. So I'm kind of curious, what do you guys do as far as clutter maintenance, as far as making your studio not presentable to others, at least functional to you, and to not necessarily make it this kind of pristine, clean thing, because I like having little things around to. If I get a little bit of writer's block, or if my hand needs a break, I'll fool around with a transformer, or I'll play a little spider solitaire or something. Just something to not so much distract me. If what you have set up is distracting you from your work, that's clutter. If it's kind of enhancing your work, helping you focus, that's not clutter. That's just a display. It's just trying to create a workspace. What feng shui used to mean, I think. I don't know. I never really followed feng shui, but kind of like that. But it's been a long-term project. But I've got things kind of straightened up in the art corner. I'm kind of happy with most of it. I've got a huge comic organizing project that I've got coming up starting next year, and that should organize a lot more of the stuff and make things a whole lot easier for me. But yeah, that's kind of all I got. What do you guys do to keep your studio organized, to be an area that you feel comfortable working in without being a total mess, so it's actually disrupting your workflow, and your musing and everything else? Just a little question. And I'm curious to see how well this video is going to come out on this camera. So until then, if you want to check out more of my work, check out bwspotlight.com. If you want to check out the rest of the people taking part in the Art Soundoff challenge, go to check out the Twitter hashtag #ArtSoundoff. Or if you want to be a part of this, check out how by going into leadingtoart.com/ArtSoundoff. And with all that, I will I'll see how well this came out, and I wish you happy creating.